The following program was provided by an independent producer solely responsible for its content. The opinions expressed do not necessarily represent the views of this station, its staff, board of directors, or underwriters.
Good afternoon and welcome to Chit Chatting. I'm Jocelyn Davis and today's guest is Julie Wallace.
Thank you.
And she has a beautiful clinic called Natural Radiant Skin. And today we're going to be talking about all the cute little instruments and skincare products that you see on Facebook, you see on television, you hear on the radio. And we want to maybe break some of the myths, if there are any, talk about what they do for your skin, whether they actually work. So welcome, Julie. Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you so much.
All right. So tell us a little bit about your clinic.
Okay, so I have a small skincare clinic in Amherst, New Hampshire, and also I work out of Exeter, New Hampshire as well. But the clinic is just really devised to help people of all ages, both men, women, and children come in, and what I will do is educate them as how best I can help them with their skin. So whether it is acneic skin, breakouts, blackheads, oily skin, rosacea, maybe it's post-cancer, and of course I'm certified in Oncology Aesthetics to help with that matter as well.
Okay.
Most of the time though, most of my time is devised for anti-aging. So that is definitely a big part.
Something that's very important to people,
very
to
important.
women.
Of
well,
course.
Mostly women, but definitely
men.
Well,
in this society, we are kind of placed, as to look our best. And some of us don't mind that. I love, dressing up and, doing my hair and makeup.
Yeah, why
it's
not?
just that girly thing in me. And I love having a daughter who, likes to do the same thing. But some days, it's just good to have healthy skin. Get rid of that makeup. Baby bare. Less is more. And that's always what I'm trying to educate my clients on. Less friction on the skin, less product, less time taken,
right,
less chemicals.
But we do have to remember that the skin is one of the largest organs in our body. It's bombarded daily by pollution and dry air and moist air, and you just name it. Everything is just bombarding our skin. So you do want to take care of it. You do want to put your best face forward. It is a large organ of your body. We just can't forget that. Whether you choose to add makeup to it or not is sort of the cherry on the top, but the skin still needs to be healthy first and foremost, making sure that we use the proper sunblock, that we make sure, that we're not using products that have too many chemicals in them, if any at all.
Yeah.
So, all right. So I went around with a bunch of my friends and I grabbed all the different appliances and things, only a few of them. My mom had two and I forgot to bring them. But, it's sort of all over the place. But I thought, let's talk about them.
Yeah.
Are they beneficial? Do they do what they say they're going to do? What should we look for? This is not we don't want to bash anybody, but let's be honest about them. So this cool little thing is called Flawless, and it is used to gently, so dermaplane.
It is the alternative of a professional dermaplane.
Okay, so you at your clinic do it professionally.
Yeah, so this
with a sterilized implement, I see.
Yeah, this is a sterilized blade. So whether, hopefully, you're somewhere that has a trained professional esthetician, nurse, doctor who can perform this as long as it's under their licensing and they're insured to do this. Anything in anybody's hand, whether it be a spoon or a blade, you can do damage to somebody.
Okay.
So of course, with the right training and the right technique, you'll be able to do this. I would never advise anybody, because there are YouTube videos out of people buying devices like this on the web and then going home. So, and
doing
to be
it
quite
via
honest,
YouTube? Oh dear.
I have actually tried to do my own dermaplaning, and it's hard, you know, because you have to have a stretch of skin. You know, you hold the skin, and what dermaplaning is really for is to remove excess dead skin cells from the skin and also vellus hair. So some of us who have that peachy fuzz and it bothers us just because we don't like it, and we'll look in the rear view mirror and we see it reflecting on the sunshine, and it's like, oh my God, I've got to get rid of that. I'm hairy. But you know, it's just some things bother people. So this is a nice, gentle way of doing that.
But professionally done with a licensed or certified? So let's talk about licensing and certifying. What is the difference in New Hampshire?
Oh, that's like a huge area.
Right.
So license, you have to have a license in New Hampshire to be able to perform professional skincare services. And also to provide professional products, because certain products have certain chemicals and they may do certain things to the skin. For instance, glycolic acid melts the skin on an acidic base. You know, alpha hydroxys, beta hydroxys, they're all acids. So in school, we are learning which percentages that we can put on somebody's skin and what type of skin do we put on. So the ethnicity of skin, the Fitzpatrick level, which means how fair to how dark the skin is, you need to know what to put on the
percentage you'd
skin.
be using.
So, you know, I'm not going to tell you not to go out and buy a certain product. That's not what I'm saying. It's just be careful out there. There are certain, you know, ingredients that you really ought to stay away from when you're buying online.
Very good. All right, so then this would be the public version.
That's the public version. I
that.
haven't tried that, so.
I actually did, and it's. I've seen on the ads, and they, you know, you carefully, again, right angle and watch the skin, and on the ads you can see, you know, the excess skin and the vellus hair, like you said, and the people
sharp?
white it off. No.
Okay.
I mean, it is, but not that kind of sharp.
Okay.
Like, I've never cut myself.
Yeah.
And my friends have never cut themselves.
All right.
And it pretty much does take some of the dead skin layer off. I just don't see it to the amount that you see on the ads. But then again, I just have beautiful skin. Kidding. So it's because Julie takes care of it. But it's lightweight, and it has a cover, and you get different ones, and you know, to me, it seems like a really nice version. It has a little light, so you can do it in front of the mirror. Yeah,
it's not bad.
So to me, it seems like a nice version to fill in seeing you, the professional.
Yes, I mean, with dermaplaning, you really should not be doing that on a regular basis, like every 4 weeks. That's a no-go.
Once a month.
Usually it's about 6 to 8 weeks for dermaplaning.
For yours. Okay. I think they say once a month for this, so they're on the same plane.
And I'm sure because of how sharp that is,
that makes
we're going
the
to get a
difference.
little deeper in the epidermis. The epidermis has 11, 12 layers. You know, you're certainly not going to cut the skin. And because estheticians are only licensed to work on the epidermis, that's all we would be, you know, removing.
Interesting. Okay. So then we had this little cute thing, and it has a battery in it, and it vibrates. I can't always... One way it takes it off. There you go. So on the ads, it says that it helps, you know, smooth or just vibrate, and I think maybe stimulate some of the muscles, maybe, or
with any kind of vibration, you're going to give the skin a rejuvenation, a very, very slight one. So you might just bring some blood to the tissue, and that's going to make a little plumpness, and it's going to give you just that. I mean, that would be great just before an event, you know.
Yes. So just before you go out at night, that you could do that, and you know, you always go in an upward motion, not a downwards motion, and it's nice and cold.
But those we usually use those when we are doing a little bit more of a aggressive treatment, and if you pop it on the arm or just like the hand or something, it just gives the brain a different direction to move in. So whatever you say, I'm just like resurfacing the eye area, that the brain's like really focusing on the vibration. So
Oh, interesting. So that's another cute little...
it's a multifunctional device.
I love it.
It's cool though.
All right, so another that we've all seen on TV and Facebook, and they come in all different sizes and they come in all different prices. My aunt has two, and they were about $1,000 a piece. So one would assume that it has a higher level of...
Well, it'll be stronger device.
Stronger,
so
okay.
whatever these are classed as electroporation devices. So what that means is it may have an electric current that will allow product penetration in the skin. Sometimes they have a little LED light underneath.
Yep.
But the strength of that would not be the same.
See that one?
Exactly. Red, do they have different colors or is it just the red?
No, it does.
Oh,
Green.
okay. Green is for pigmentation, red is for anti-aging. Blue is for acne, and yellow is for rosacea. And purple is generally, you can use it for acne too, or oily skin.
Okay. So that's,
And they can flash, yeah.
yep.
They're great for home devices. You're not going to get the same, what you would get in a spa, or a med spa, anything like that. But they're great. You can...
And not to take away from your business, but I think it's important that we talk to people.
Some people don't like fingers.
Right.
They don't like anything, the rubbing. This is great device for just, penetrating a serum.
Which you put on the 4 little points here.
You could. I mean, I usually just put my serum on and then I just rub around with one of those electroporation.
All right.
They're really
so
handy.
That's just another one so everybody knows about it. Because
make sure you clean it off though, especially around these things.
Around here.
Yeah.
Good to know. All right. So I think everybody can sometimes get carried away and say, that's what I want. And
well, there's always something new coming up on the market. And then you see things on, Instagram, or you see them on social media or wherever they may be advertised. And it's like, oh my gosh, what is that? It does that? Really? Well, go on recommendation. Always look at reviews first.
Look at the comments.
Exactly. And I actually do that as well. There are some home devices that I have myself and I love them. I really do love them. But there are some professional devices that have cost me several $1,000s that I wish I hadn't purchased. Not that I've got awesome devices right now.
Oh, so they are amazing.
Those are many, many years ago.
Yes. So tell me about this.
So moving on from dermaplaning to dermafiling. So
dermafiling.
I do have a hydrodermabrasion machine in my office, and I couldn't bring that along with me. So what we have are these files. This actually is a body one.
Okay.
We do have smaller files for the face, and they come in fine, medium, and coarse. So what happens is that this is a diamond structure here, diamond and metal. And what happens is that you just, and you'll be able to see this on the skin because it's going to go like, it is moving gently, not a lot of abrasion here, but moving gently. And what it will do is it will just take off. You would cleanse the skin first and pat dry. And then you would just put this onto dry skin. But as you can see how
look at it,
white,
powdery.
Yes. So what I would do is I would just like kind of, take an old toothbrush or a clean toothbrush and only use it for this. And just basically clean it off.
Interesting.
And it just mechanically, physically exfoliates the skin. Again, with anything like a dermafile, you wouldn't want to do it too often.
Aggressively or too often.
Yes, yeah. So there are, on the machines, we have them at different settings. But this is a great way. And anybody who has sun damage, the brown spots, this is a wonderful way just to really focus on them. Yes, just to really focus on them.
So when you have those brown spots from the sun, wow, look at that. There is a totally different color. Yeah. Wow. What is that actually? How deep do those freckles, well, they're not really freckles, but, well, yeah, they are, aren't they? Are freckles and brown spots the same thing?
Not necessarily.
Okay.
They are classed as melanocyte activity. So that comes from your dermis. And, you know, when we cut ourselves, there's always a pigment, you know. So what our brown spots are doing are really there to protect. They're surfacing to the focus of the skin when the sun comes down. It's there to protect us. But they can stay there for a while, and they tend to thicken that epidermis up. And they are not going to go away unless you do something.
Okay.
Some kind of exfoliation process would be good at home, a gentle exfoliation, like a enzyme mask, which are great. A gentle scrub, nothing with any apricot, like kernel or anything like that.
Really? Why?
Because they are grounded and they're very sharp. So what they're going to do is they're actually
Cut the
going
skin?
to, well, you'll have broken capillaries. And if you haven't got them now, you're going to have
You
them.
will have them.
And that's a more expensive process to get rid of those. That's like laser.
Wow.
So
Exactly.
stay away
So
from that
it
kind
sort
of
of
stuff.
seems to me that visiting a professional and getting, it seems to me to be the good way to start and
It's
then
good to get
work
some
from
advice.
there. Get
you know,
the advice.
I have a lot of clients who come in just for consultation, and I'll ask them to bring in, you know, some of their skincare products that they're using at home, or maybe they, you know, they have something at home and they want to use that first and then move on to a professional product.
Well, that's what I was thinking.
And it's great, and I can always advise them.
I like that. I like that very much.
If you've got 6 teenagers in the house and they're trying to use your professional products, it can be a little
Yes, that needs to be put
devastating.
away.
So there's always
Here's
some-
yours, here's mine.
There are some good products out there over the counter that you can get from the likes of Walgreens and Target and what have you. So I like to, you know, try and give my clients and patients the best
Choice.
advice.
Right.
Because, you know, I'm trying to help them at the end of the day.
Absolutely. So one of the other that is sold by one of the companies is this thing.
Okay.
It looks, I don't know, very barbaric.
It's a dermal roller.
It's a derma roller. Okay, because it rolls. But it has spikes in it. They're itty bitty spikes. And I'm sure in your hands it would be awesome. Makes me a little nervous for me or the just average person, unless you've been to someone like you and have a few lessons. You do need to know what you're doing, not just go ahead and YouTube it. I'm sorry, I don't believe in that. So what is the hoopla about the derma roller?
Dermal rolling has been going on for like thousands of years. It's not a new technology. It's ancient Greece. They used dermal rollers. Now, there are needles in a dermal roller or a dermal stamp. And, you know, generally they're not going to be terribly long, especially for something that is retail bound or take home.
Those are very tiny.
But again, you have to be careful. And if you're
It is breaking the skin.
It's breaking the skin. It's breaking the epidermis. Microneedling is a professional treatment that can be done in New Hampshire by a nurse or a doctor. In Massachusetts and other states, it can be done by an esthetician. In New Hampshire, we're allowed to use nano needles, which are silicone needles. Still, they penetrate and they do amazing treatments with those. But you can break the skin. You can have blood spill, you know, so you've got to be careful. So if you're going to use that according to the device of the manufacturer.
And I would also assume that if you're going to use these, they need to be cleaned
Not just clean,
very
sanitized.
well, sanitized.
So have a 90% alcohol in the house. Put it in a spray bottle and definitely air dry it. But yes, again, because you are possibly likely to generate a blood spill, drawing blood, that means that it's contaminated. So you need to rinse off with hot soapy water. You'd need to sterilize
90%
it.
alcohol. Okay.
You know, so you just
Good
need to be careful.
So the other thing, so what are the various, is it ever too early to start anti-aging care for your skin?
It's
When is
never
a good time?
It's never too early to take care of your skin. I'm from Europe and, well, England, but it's classed as Europe. So generally, Europeans tend at an early age. I think I was 13 when I started to use professional products.
Wow.
And sun protection was always a must. I don't think there should be a general age for skincare. My kids, and maybe it's because I'm an esthetician, they've been, having treatments since they were 6 years old. My daughter would say, "Can I have a massage?" And really she meant a facial, but she's here anyway. And she loves just the relaxation. It is obviously about skincare, but having a facial can be very, very relaxing.
And there are a lot of muscles in your face,
of course,
to be honest.
Yeah, so it is about taking care. But going back to treatments and home care, I would say whenever adolescence takes on, you always have to protect them with sun care, no matter what, your child from an infant onwards. But looking after them when they start to get, the odd pimple, the odd blackhead, don't run and get the strips or anything like that. And I hate to put products down, but be careful. You may be doing more damage. And I like to see clean, skin. And if I do see, breakouts and what have you, I would treat them, or I'd ask a client, what seems to be going on with your skin. Now, of course, with adolescents, it's generally hormonal. All the hormones are going
crazy.
Radical. But of course, environmental, changes, stress is a biggest problem. And of course, we live in a very stressful world because everybody wants to get everything done yesterday. But lifestyle and obviously what you eat and drink play a big part.
Drink lots of water.
Lots of water. But a lot of water may mean just a couple of glasses to you, and it might mean like 17 to me. So what a great calculation has always been, and it's just to give somebody an idea, would be take your weight in pounds and then just divide that by 2 and drink at least those fluid ounces. So if your weight is 120 pounds, 60 pounds would be half of that. Drink at least 60 fluid ounces and drink throughout the day. Don't just drink at night because you're going to be up at the bathroom, all night long. So really just keep on drinking throughout the day.
Okay, that's good to know. So that 8 times 8 is 64, so it would be 7.5 glasses.
There you go. You're good.
There's your math. There's your math. So you brought a couple of products. So maybe we could talk in our last couple of minutes about serum versus lotion.
Okay.
Or cream.
Yeah. So serums are usually a gel-like substance or maybe a watery substance.
Okay.
And they are just a small molecule. There are very smaller molecules than what a cream or a lotion would be.
Okay.
So you would always put your serum on first and then your cream on last.
Okay.
Serums tend to be less ingredients because they're trying to do more to the skin. So for instance, a vitamin C serum is high antioxidant, so it's helping to protect the skin from, radiation, free radical damage, meaning UV rays and environmental pollution. Vitamin C also brightens the skin.
Okay.
So it is, usually if you have a vitamin C, you would have a lot of ascorbic acid in there. They might put hyaluronic acid in there. They might put some matrixyl 3000 in there as an anti-aging. So you don't have a lot of ingredients in serums, but they're there to really concentrate, and sometimes they're called a concentration as well. So you'd put that onto damp skin and allow that to penetrate, and then you would put your cream on to protect the skin, to moisturize, to hydrate the skin.
All right. And protect maybe even the serum if it's gone in.
Definitely.
Nice. So extra layers. Good to know. And there are certain products that you use in the morning and certain products you use at night?
Yes.
They are different.
Hydrate in the morning, treat at night. So for instance, your retinols, your glycolic acids, your sometimes your vitamin C's would go on at night because they sting. They can sting the skin as well. So something that's more active, and when the skin is resting, that's the best time to use something.
Interesting. What do you think about silk pillowcases?
They're brilliant.
Yes.
They're brilliant. But
I agree. It's good for the hair, but it's also good for the skin. So not having that abrasive on your skin and trying to at least sleep on your back for
And they're
Well,
nice
it's
and
all
cool.
absorbing. Yes, they are.
They're very
They are
cool.
very cool. So tell our audience where they can reach you. It's Natural Radiant Skin in Amherst, New Hampshire.
Yes. So Natural Radiant Skin, I'm located at 5 Northern Boulevard. It is building 16, suite number 9.
And again, this is Julie Wallace, and she is an esthetician. And you have offices, 2 in New Hampshire, and I believe you also work out of Massachusetts.
I do, yes.
You do. So I knew that. And they can reach you and ask you questions, set up a consultation, even set up some skincare.
Yeah.
And I think that would be just terrific. And I want to thank you so much
Thank you
for
so
stopping
much,
by
Jocelyn.
today, and just let everybody know that there's nothing wrong with wanting to take care of your skin. There's nothing wrong with wanting to be the best that you can be. And if that's with makeup, great. If it's without,
Just
that's
healthy.
good. Just healthy. Make sure you protect yourself against the sun, which, because we have a little bit of time here, I did a show with you before, and you were talking about the sun care and what you shouldn't use. There was an ingredient. What was
my
it?
Goodness. So the things that you need to be, well, it's chemical. You can't really have a good protection with chemical sunscreens. They're not good for the environment. They're not good for the ocean.
Right.
And we tend to be at the ocean sometimes in the summer. So what we really need to be looking at is zinc oxide and titanium oxide.
That's what it was. Okay.
Those are the physical sun protection and and just a full broad span. What they do is they absorb UV rays and they reflect them.
Oh, nice to know. All right. So say those 2 again. So it was zinc oxide.
Zinc oxide and titanium oxide.
Titanium oxide. And those you can buy anywhere?
Yeah.
Okay. I remember you
Walgreens, yeah.
talking about that, and it had stuck in my head that you really wanted to be careful of the sun products
Very much
because
so.
they had too many chemicals in them. All right. So thank you again for joining me on Chit Chatting, Jocelyn Davis and my guest, Julie Wallace.
Thank you.
And we're going to make this a monthly occurrence, once a month. Have
Yay.
Julie come in, and we're going to talk about very specific skincare, very specific techniques. We're going to talk about makeup. We're going to talk about spray tans. What are the good ones, which are more natural, better for your skin, and just everything that you would want to know. Thank you again for joining us, and see you next week.
The preceding program was provided by an independent producer solely responsible for its content. The opinions expressed do not necessarily represent the views of this station, its staff, board of directors, or underwriters.